Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video and welcome to my brand new upload schedule. Obviously, I have uploaded on Sundays before, but if you didn't know, I am going to be dedicating Sunday and Wednesdays to uploads. So that is a guarantee. You guys are going to know what to expect. I'm not going to set a certain time or anything like that, but just know from here on out that Sunday and Wednesdays is when you will see new videos on my channel. So with that being said, I thought it would be fun to kind of take a step back from product reviews. There have been so many launches. Let's go ahead and do something a little bit more chill. Let's do a good old-fashioned eyeshadow tutorial. I really personally miss tutorials, and I think that there are so many different ways of applying makeup. People have different tastes, styles, that you can get so much inspiration and ideas from, palettes that have, come out already, and you have them in your collection. You see a lot of people, reviewing these palettes, but then there's never any other tutorials on them. So that is something else I want to do more on my channel. And I talked about this before, that 2019, I kind of wanted to do like a palette rewind or a palette edit where I go back, pick up palettes that I've reviewed on my channel before and bring you guys fresh ideas, inspiration, and get you out of creative ruts. If you feel like, you have all these palettes, but you don't know what to do with them, that's what I'm here for. Let's inspire each other. So the palette I'm going to be using today is the Brown Sugar palette. This was a collaboration that launched, I want to say last November, between Karrueche and Colourpop. So the reason why I picked this palette for today's video is because I have gotten an overwhelming amount of comments on my Colourpop Mystery Bag video asking me what was on my eyes. And you know what? I thought, why not? This is the perfect time. Let's do an eyeshadow palette tutorial together. So we're gonna dive into this baby. I'm gonna try my best to recreate that look to a T because it is a really pretty look. With that being said, I'm gonna zoom you guys in, give you an up close look, walk you through it, and I will walk you through step by step on how to create that look using this palette. All right, you guys, so please ignore my lips. If you can tell, they are a dry, nasty mess. I have been using lip scrubs, lip balms, coconut oil. Nothing is helping my cause, so if you see my lips looking crusty, that's why. Please don't judge. So let's go ahead and start out with some primer. If you guys have watched my channel at all before, you know I am obsessed with the Luscious Angel Eyes primer. So we're gonna start with that. I take a little bit in the back of my hand, and I pretty much just bring this all the way up to the brow bone. Now I don't set this down with powder or anything. This primer will make your shadow pop. It stops it from creasing. It is honestly like the best eyeshadow base ever, and it does do some cancellation. So if you have, discoloration on the eyes, veins, this will do it. And it does layer nice on top of concealer as well, so it doesn't get bunchy or cakey. It dries down pretty quick. It's almost like the Urban Decay primer potion on steroids. That's what I call it. All right, so now that we have our primer down, let's go ahead and dip into this palette. You guys, this is such a beautiful palette. I can't. It's so stunning. It needs more love, and here I am to give it love. So I'm gonna start off by dipping into the shade Chai, and I'm using a BH Cosmetics No. 6 brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure there's no creasing. I'm just gonna gently work that into the crease and lay this down as my transition shade. I'm using a pretty fluffy brush for this because I'm not too worried about it fluffing all over the place. I just want to lay something down, obviously, for everything to blend into, and I'm following the natural shape of my eye. So I'm bringing the shadow to about here, all the way down, and window wiper motions. It does feel weird at first when you put shadow on top of a primer that isn't set down. It feels kind of sticky, and you almost feel like it might make the shadow look choppy, but it doesn't. So now that we have our base down, as you can see, it just kind of lightly carved out the eyes and nothing too intense. I'm gonna take a little bit more of a precise crease brush now. This is the BH Cosmetics No. 6. And I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm going to dip into the shade Jamocha. I'm gonna go ahead and work that into the crease as well with a very light hand because these shadows are very pigmented. So again, all the way into the inner corner and just doing window washer motions. Now that we have carved out the crease, we have a good base down. So now I'm gonna go in with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill. This is the JH33. I'm gonna dip into the shade here, Amber. And again, focus this on the crease. I like to layer like a million different colors into the crease. That's just me. It's not totally necessary, but I like to build up color. It's funny because sometimes as I'm doing eyeshadow, I'm like, oh my God, that looks like shit, like initially. And I'm like, how is this gonna work? But it's so funny how the finished product sometimes is just like, you know, you gotta trust the process. You're like, all right, here we are. I made it. All right, so now I like to take a big fluffy brush. This is the BH Cosmetics No. 5 brush. And I like to use this to just kind of buff out the edges and make sure everything looks nice and blended. As you can see, I always stick with the natural shape of my eye. I don't like to bring anything out too far, but I do make sure that the color does extend all the way to the edge of my brow here. So if you look at this, like make like an imaginary line, you can see how the color stops there. You never want to drag your shadow too far down. It'll make your eyes look droopy. And you also don't want to keep the color too tight because then you're kind of doing your eye an injustice. You're not opening it, you're not lengthening it, giving it an open look. You want to make sure that you're really always following this natural line of the eye and your brow, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to take the Sigma shader crease. This is the E47, and I'm gonna dip into the shade Chalk right here. This is a pretty intense shade, so be careful. I take that on the outer corner only. Tight circular motions. I don't want to bring that really much into the crease. I'm just using this to kind of add some depth and some shadow. I kind of have my brush angled this way. Now I find this shade can be a little bit tricky. The color does want to grab just a bit, but as long as you're patient and you blend everything out, it truly does look beautiful. Less is more. Don't go in too heavy with it, otherwise you will have some issues trying to blend it out, but as long as you know how to work with it, it's a very beautiful shade. All right, so now that we have our outer corner down, let's go ahead and work on the lid. So I'm going to take this flat shader brush. This is from LMR Cosmetics. Is there a number on this? Nope, it's just a flat shader brush. And I'm gonna dip into this shade right here, Sauté. And I am going to spray this with some Fix Plus. And now we are gonna go ahead and start right here in the middle of the lid. I always end up spraying my mirror and then I can't see shit. I do bring that up into my crease just a bit. I'm kind of all about like the imaginary cut crease because I feel like it definitely does help open up the eye. I'm gonna blend that in to that outer corner shade just a bit. I do want to kick this up just a notch. So after I've laid down like the initial layer of the shade, I'm gonna take my finger and go back into Sauté. I'm just gonna go ahead and use my finger and dab just a little bit more of this on the lid just to intensify it a bit more. Now let's work on that lower lash line. I'm gonna use this same brush, the shader crease brush from Sigma. This is the E47, and I'm gonna dip back into that shade Amber. I'm gonna drag this along the lower lash line. I wanna match it right up to the outer corner here so I create kind of like a halo right around the eye here. I do want to smoke this out quite a bit. I don't want it to look unblended or too harsh of a line, so don't be afraid of really smoking that out. Now I'm going to dip into the shade here, Sorrel. I'm going to put that just kind of on the outer portion of the lower lash line, very lightly, and keep it very close to the lash, just to kind of deepen it up just a bit and bring it probably right to the center of the eye. Now let's go ahead and work on the inner corners. I'm going to take this brush right here. This is the JH42 from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe brush collection. I'm gonna dip into the shade right here, Ginger, Fix Plus. I'm gonna go ahead and put that right in the inner corner here. This is probably my favorite shade in the palette. Now I'm going to take, this is the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner. This is in the shade Honey Dude. So you guys can see here, it's like a nude liner. If you want to make your eyes open up and give them a pop, a nude liner in the waterline, oh, I am obsessed. Some of that right into the waterline here. And I almost forgot. I need to put something on the brow bone here. Let's dip back into Ginger one more time. Can't believe I almost forgot. Just put that right on the brow bone. I'm gonna pop on some mascara and I will be right back. All right, you guys, so there you have it. There's the completed look. I just popped on some black mascara. You could pop on some lashes with this if you wanted. Pop some black liner in the waterline, brown liner, that would look gorgeous too. But this is the complete replication from my Colourpop Mystery Bag unbagging video, as it was so requested. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought about this look. Do you own the Brown Sugar palette? And let me know what your favorite shades are in the palette. Are there any other Colourpop eyeshadow palettes that you would like to see me do some more looks with? I saw on Instagram that Colourpop posted a photo of their I Think I Love You palette, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot about that palette. I loved it so much, and I thought it would maybe be kind of fun to whip that bad boy out and do some looks with it as well. But yeah, any palette that you guys have seen me review on my channel, let me know if you want me to bring it back and do a tutorial for you guys. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it, share it, and of course be sure to subscribe before you go. I love you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye guys!